Good afternoon, parents, teachers, and friends. It's an honor for me, Emmanuel Otniel, to host you in this wonderful event. And as a highlight, Campus Spain is basically a project supported by the Spain government to help the international students to learn in Spain. And I think without further ado, I would like to welcome our guest speaker, Ms. Gosia Kozira. Ms. Gosia,
hello,
the
everybody.
Webinar is all yours.
Hello, selamat sore. Let me just move forward to the presentation so that we have as much time as possible for your further questions and answers. My name is Gosia. I'm the Director of Admissions in Campus Spain. I'm currently in Campus Spain office in Vigo, Spain. And here is a short presentation about Spain as a destination for your international studies, about the scholarship opportunities, and basically your life as a student if you decide to come to Spain. So very, very briefly, you probably know a lot about Spain, but just to give you a very short summary, we are talking about one of the most developed, one of the safest countries in the world, one of the most stable democracies and economies, and also #1 study abroad destination for all students from European Union countries. So if a student comes from, let's say, Germany or Italy, and they decide to study abroad, it is very likely they're going to choose Spain. It is also increasing, it has also a very increasing popularity among students from Asia. Also, every year, the numbers of students coming to Spain from Indonesia are growing very significantly. So I just want to show you Spain in a few images, because sometimes you may think you don't know that much about Spain, but actually there are some very famous things coming from Spain that are present in your lives. So of course, football, sports, cinema, the Money Heist, you know, a very, very famous Netflix series comes from Spain. The only production hub of Netflix in Europe is based in Madrid, in Spain. So there are many students from all over the world who choose Spain to study filmmaking, audiovisual communication, sports management, football management, or physical education, or any kind of business majors as well. Spain is also famous from its beautiful landscape. It is the second most visited by the tourist destination in the world. You can ski in winter, you can go to most beautiful beaches in the world in summer. So apart from receiving very good quality education, you will be also enjoying one of the nicest and the most fun countries in the world. What you can see on your screens right now are Spanish companies. So Zara, Pull&Bear, Mango, Airbus, Massimo Dutti, all these companies are Spanish. And these are companies that are in touch with Campus Spain, that collaborate with Spanish universities, because they wish to hire, as the top quality, top positions employees, graduates from Spanish universities coming from countries like Indonesia. So if you decide to study in Spain, especially any major related to business or to marketing or to engineering, these are very likely your future employers. So Campus Spain is an institution that helps you to get admission to any existing Spanish university. We will help to choose you the best university for you, basing on your academic background, basing on your budget as well. And we will make sure you get admitted and you continue your studies successfully in the university you have chosen. In Spain, we have 50 public universities distributed all over the country and 35 private universities. Campus Spain is your pathway to all those universities. If you choose to study in Spain, you will not only be choosing the country, you are also choosing a continent. And there are some huge advantages for international students for choosing Spain as their destination for studies. You will be having a visa which will allow you to move freely around all the Schengen area countries, which means that during your studies in Spain, you can explore the whole continent. You can visit France, Germany, Netherlands. You can explore all those countries. You won't need any extra visa, any extra permit. All those borders will be open for you as international students in Europe. Spain belongs to European higher education area, which means that your bachelor's or your master's diploma from Spain will be automatically recognized in 49 different countries. It also means that the standards, education standards in the Spanish universities are all accredited by European Union. So we are talking about absolutely top quality educational standards. And the most important advantage of studying in Europe is that even though you are not a European Union citizen, once you become a student in a European university, like a Spanish university, you will benefit from the same advantages and privileges as if you were a European citizen. This especially includes the access to scholarships. So once you're admitted to a university in Spain, you can benefit from Erasmus Plus scholarship. This scholarship allows all the students to take 1 year or 1 semester of their degree studies in another European country. So let's imagine you start your degree in business in Madrid, but for the second or for the third year of your degree, you go to Paris. During this year in Paris, the European Union will cover your cost of living. So you're going to receive a scholarship that pays for your accommodation, for your meals, your journey, and so on and so on. This is also available for Indonesian students. Okay, I want to very, very shortly give you a highlight on the rankings that prove that Spanish universities are among the best universities in Europe and in the world, especially if you're targeting business, engineering, sports, hospitality, and tourism management. Spain is the country to consider. Spain, the official language in Spain is, of course, Spanish. And Spanish is the second most spoken language in the world. That means that in the world, there are more people speaking Spanish than English. So number one in the world is Chinese, and after that comes Spanish. This is because Spanish is an official language in 21 different countries. So once you learn Spanish, there are 21 countries all over the world where you can communicate. It is also an official language in all major international corporations and international organizations. So you can see all the countries on the map right now use exactly the same language, the Spanish language. In all the countries you can see in green right now, Spanish is the most popular foreign language to learn. This is because Spanish is the language of future. Right now in the United States, 20% of people already speak Spanish, but by 2050, more than half of the society in the United States will be speaking Spanish. So if you're a student whose ambitious is to do an international professional career, knowing English is not enough anymore. It's a very, very good idea to learn Spanish as well. So many of you ask me, what is the language of instruction in Spanish universities? On your screens right now, you can see a scheme that illustrates all Spanish universities. So the universities that are highlighted in a yellow color use English as a language of instruction. As you can see, these are not many universities, and actually only very few majors are delivered entirely in English. These are normally the universities that teach in English are normally private universities. So these universities have more expensive tuition fees. Normally, those tuition fees start with 10 to 12,000 euro per year. But all this field you can see on your screens right now, which is in green, are public universities. And those public universities use mostly Spanish as the language of instruction, although they do deliver English-friendly subjects for international students. The very good thing about those public universities in Spain is that the tuition fees in public universities in Spain are subsidized by the government. It means that students only pay 10 to 15% of the tuition fees, and all the tuition on top of this amount are covered by the government. This is not a kind of scholarship that you need to apply for. This is a benefit that applies automatically to any student that gets an admission to a public university in Spain. So just to give you an idea, what you can see on your screens right now is a map of Spain, and you can see that all the cities that are highlighted in green, all the areas that are highlighted in green, the subsidy from the government is very high. That means that yearly tuition fees per year to be paid by an Indonesian student to take a degree in any major amount from 12 to 20 million rupiahs per year. So for 12 million rupees per year, for example, you can study a degree in IT in one of the best universities in Europe, in the University of Granada, and it costs 12 million rupees per year because all the remaining tuition fees on top of this amount will be paid by the Spanish government. So how can you get an admission to a public university in Spain to benefit from subsidized tuition fees? There are no admission tests. All you will need is a Spanish language certificate. You don't need to learn Spanish in Indonesia. I will explain to you in a minute how to learn Spanish. And on top of that, we will need your high school diploma and the transcript of records with your high school results from the last 2 years of your high school. So how do I learn Spanish? How do you get this Spanish language certificate you need for the admission to a public university in Spain? Here is the scheme we have developed for international students. When international students come to Spain, before they start their bachelor's degree, they take 1 year preparatory Spanish LCA program. The Spanish LCA program is already delivered in a Spanish public university, in the State University of Vigo, in the city of Vigo, where also Campus Spain office is based. Spanish LCA stands from Language, Culture, and Adaptation to University course. During this course, students learn Spanish. You start from no prior level of Spanish at all, and you go all the way to B2 level of Spanish, which is higher intermediate. You will be learning Spanish in the language center of the University of Vigo, which is one of the most prestigious language centers for Spanish in the world. At the same time, 30% of your Spanish classes will be conducted outside the classroom. Spain is one of the most enjoyable countries in the world, and we want our students to learn Spanish while they also enjoy the country. That's why 30% of your Spanish classes will be during trips to other cities, workshops in museums, football games in the stadium, or a Spanish cooking class, for example. Finally, Spanish LCA program will also prepare you to be a successful student of a degree or of a master's studies in any Spanish university you choose. So you will be joining those additional activities that teach you how the university in Spain works, and where we also take care of your admission to the degree you have chosen in the university we have helped you to choose. So as you can see on the map of Spain, Vigo, the city where the preparatory Spanish LCA program takes place, is located in the north of Spain, quite far away from Madrid and from Barcelona. So if you want to go to Madrid and Barcelona, the two most famous cities of Spain, that will be for your degree. But for the preparatory program, you will be coming to Vigo. Why Vigo? Because Vigo is the safest and the most friendly city in Spain. It is also extremely beautiful and full of students. It's located in the Atlantic Ocean. It has 300,000 inhabitants, out of which 22,000 are actually students. In Vigo, students are happy, students make friends from all over the world, and students have a huge exposure to Spanish language. That's why we recommend students to start at the University of Vigo for the soft landing and preparation for the degree studies. And once they've learned the language and adapted to the culture a little bit, you will be ready to go to any other Spanish city to take your degree studies. Here is a short summary of everything Campus Spain does for the students to help you in a safe and smooth transition to university life abroad. So before you arrive, we will help you to get your student visa. Once students arrive, Campus Spain teams collect students, picks up students from the airport, opens a Spanish bank account for the students, give you a Spanish SIM card so you can stay in touch with your families from the very beginning. We provide students with 24/7 emergency contact where both students and their parents can contact us in case they need any kind of help or assistance. Finally, we also make sure all your immigration procedures are correctly taken care of, and we make sure you get admission to your bachelor's degree after the Spanish LCA program. So, is it expensive? This is a very common and very important question as well. So, what you can see on your screens right now is a breakdown of the costs of our Study in Spain program. The Spanish LCE program, the preparatory program, costs 7,500 euros. This price already includes the tuition fees, but it also already includes all your fees for your application, admission, immigration procedures, the airport pickup, your Spanish SIM card, your medical insurance in Spain, your fees for admission to bachelor's degree studies. All of that is already included in this fixed fee for the first year of your study program in Spain. So it's 7,500 euros. After that, you will get the language certificate, which will grant you an access to public education system in Spain. And in the public universities, an average yearly tuition fees students from Indonesia pay for their degrees is 900 euros per year. So it's approximately 18 million rupiahs per year, 18 million rupiahs per year. Okay, so let's say there is this big investment that you have to do in the language certificate during your first year in Spain, but after that, the costs of tuition fees get very significantly reduced. Now, the cost of living. What you can see on your screens right now is a comparison of the cost of living between Spain and other very popular study abroad destinations. So as you can see, for example, the cost of accommodation in Spain is approximately 300 euros per month, while, for example, in UK or in France, it's much, much more expensive. It is the cost of living. I have been visiting Indonesia a lot. I've been to Jakarta many times to interview our candidates coming from Indonesia in person. And I've been to many supermarkets and I've spent some time in Jakarta. And I believe that the cost of living in Spain are comparable to cost of living in Jakarta. Also, international students are allowed to have a part-time job, which means that all of you can work up to 20 hours per week, both outside the campus and inside the campus. So with your part-time job, you can earn enough money to cover your cost of living by yourselves. That's basically it. I tried to be as brief as possible to give you some time for questions. Before I move to the questions, I would also like to share with all of you my contact data. We have Instagram profile where we have an Instagram profile when we share a lot of information about scholarship opportunities, about the life of our students from Indonesia here in Spain. There will be new students from Indonesia arriving to Spain in 2 weeks. So we will be telling their experience from the first weeks in Spain. So if you are considering joining our program in the future, it's a good idea for you to follow us on Instagram. You can also reach me through WhatsApp or through email. You have all my contact data on your screens right now. So thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to answer all your questions now.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Gosia. I think it's the time for question and answers, Miss. And if you don't mind, may I read the questions for you?
Yes, please.
So first question comes from Christopher Kevin. How much is the tuition fee and the living cost per year?
So the tuition fees for the first year is 7,500 euros. And the cost of living is approximately 450 to 500 euros per month. This already includes accommodation, meals, entertainment, transportation, all that, okay? So roughly speaking, you need approximately 13 to 14, you need approximately 10 to 11,000 euro for the first year. After first year, you will get the subsidy from the government. So from the second year onwards, the tuition fees will be approximately 1,000 euro per year. And the cost of living, again, will be approximately 500 euros per month. So basically, after the first year, the cost of studying in Spain will be very, very, very low.
Okay, Miss. And then for the next question from Eric Leonardo. What is the school accreditation in Spain, and what is the school activities in Spain, Miss, in general?
So we are not a school. We are an institution that helps international students with the admission to any university in Spain. Our students from Indonesia would be mostly joining public universities in Spain. So these are universities registered under the government of Spain, under the Ministry of Education in Spain. So these are all universities that also belong to the European higher education area. So these are like the top quality, the highest level of accreditation universities, official state universities in Spain.
Okay, then for the next question comes from Thomas Wijayan. Would the language barrier prevent us from studying effectively? Because I've heard that Spanish is a pretty hard language to learn.
Hi, Thomas. It's a very good question. During your degree, you will be joining subjects that are taught in Spanish if you choose a public university. We have had students coming from Indonesia for like years now, I would say. And I can assure you that for a Bahasa Indonesia native speaker, learning Spanish is not that complicated. Many words that you use in Bahasa Indonesia are actually the same as in Spanish. For example, the flag in Spanish is bandera. The shoe in Spanish is zapato. We say permisi. We say Sabtu, Minggu. You would be surprised how many words we share. Also, students from Indonesia and students from Spain share the same rules when it comes to reading and pronunciation. So basically, you don't have to learn how to read and how to pronounce in Spanish because you just need to follow the rules from the Bahasa Indonesia. So I assure you that learning Spanish is much easier than learning German or learning French, for example. I myself am not a Spanish native speaker, by the way. I was an international student in Spain as well. I come from Poland and I have studied my degree in a university in Spain in Madrid. And I can assure you that I'm not very good in languages, but still I was able to master Spanish in 6 months. So it is a very friendly language, and it is especially friendly for students who are Bahasa Indonesia native speakers. So trust me on that. Language is not going to be an issue.
Okay, then. And then for the next question, it comes from Michael Prima Angelo. So these features that you've presented before are not exclusive to Spain only, and they also apply to universities that are in tuition in countries across the European Union Schengen area.
Hi, Michael. It's not the same in every European Union countries. You should go through countries one by one, because as far as I'm concerned, in Netherlands, in Italy, for example, the tuition is slightly higher for international students. So it's not exactly the same in all European countries. The most similar to Spain is Germany, where also, if you learn the language, you can get admission to public university with very, very low tuition costs. But also, let me say that the main difference between Germany and Spain is the language itself. German is much more complicated to learn. Again, I tried to learn German as well, and I can tell you from my own experience, it has been much more complicated. So you need more time to get the language certificate. And then if you compare the reach of the two languages, you can see that learning Spanish will open more doors to you professionally speaking. But if you are interested in any other European country, I would recommend you to reach a homologue institution to Campus Spain in the country you are interested in, so that they can confirm to you the exact tuition costs.
Okay, Miss. And then for the next question from Thaddeus Elvin, I would like to ask, what is the community like for international students in Spain? Are the people welcoming and friendly? That's the question.
So if you go through like international rankings of tolerance, you will see that Spain is one of the most tolerant countries in the world. And I don't know how is that possible, because I know how far Indonesia is from Spain, but somehow our students from Indonesia make amazing friendships with students from Spain. There is something in our cultures, in our mindset, that I still didn't understand well, but I assure you that if you come to Spain, you're going to make a lot of friends with Spanish people. There is this good communication between people from Indonesia and people from Spain. So it is a very safe and very tolerant and very friendly country.
Okay, and then for the next question from Eric Leonardo, pardon me. What is the accreditation in Spain? And I'm sorry, what is the accreditation in Spain? That's all.
Hi, Eric. We've been talking with Eric already through the app in the last couple of days, so I'm happy that he has also joined the webinar. Eric, if you refer to the accreditation linked to your bachelor's degree diploma, it's an official diploma belonging to European higher education area, which means it is recognized worldwide.
Okay, and then for the next question from Ignatius Brian Chai, I want to ask, is there an acceleration program? And if yes, what are the requirements? Thank you.
I'm not quite sure what do you refer to with acceleration program.
So basically acceleration program is like, if in general, so you learn for 4 years, yeah. But in the acceleration program, you can learn for only 3 years.
Okay, so it is possible to take a shorter Spanish LCA program, the intensive, we call it modality. This modality, the regular modality for high school students for the Spanish LCA program takes 10 months, starts in October. So the next intake will be October 2021 until the end of July 2022. But it's possible to take an intensive modality, which goes from January till July, so it's 7 months only. And then the regular duration of a degree studies in Spain is 4 years. However, this is flexible and all students are allowed to take on more subjects every year, every academic year. So it's possible to organize your study program individually in the way that instead of in 4 years, you can graduate in 3 years, for example.
Okay, Ms. Gosha, I think we have 1 minute left. So it's for the last question from Feliciano Enrico. So can a student do a part-time job in Spain?
Yes, again, yes, you can work from the very first day in Spain, 20 hours per week, both inside the campus and outside the campus. This money you can learn with your part-time job is enough to cover, for example, for your accommodation fees.
Okay, Ms. Gosha. There are actually many undiscussed questions left, Miss, but I'm very sorry that we are heading to the end of this session. And I think if there are many more questions from you guys who want to ask to Ms. Gosha, you can visit Campus Spain's virtual booth on Canisius EduFair 2020 app and ask to Ms. Gosha directly. And Ms. Gosha? Yes. I guess we must end our session right now. And as for the closing statement, do you have any closing statement for the audiences?
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Guys, I will be very tuned to the app, the EduExpo app today. If you have any questions, reach me through the app. I will be personally answering all your doubts and questions. Please connect with us through Instagram as well. And I do hope to see some of you in Vigo in October 2021. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Gosha, for the very useful information. And for all of you, thank you for watching this webinar and hope you all have a pleasant day and stay healthy. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Gosia.